Yeah, yeah. Fresh out the cell with a plan and a boo. Anklet beeping, but my heart's beating for you. Let's go. Met her on a prison pen pal site. She said you cute even in that orange light. Now I'm home and I'm free, kinda on probation. She picked me up in a Prius, pure elation. Got a teardrop tat and a heart full of dreams. She brought cupcakes and some government cheese. I said, girl, you a snack, maybe even a feast. She said, you just hungry cause you live with the beast. Love after lockup, wild and free. Got no keys, but she got the key to me. From yard time to FaceTime, look at us glow. From prison phone calls to reality show. Love after lockup, we don't play. Tinder got nothing on JPay. I did my time, now I'm doing hers. Doing laundry and love, both in spurts.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup Lockdown, where we are covering Season 3, Episode 5. As always, you can find us in our Facebook group and on Instagram at Love After Lockup Lockdown. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Lisa.
And this week we're covering Season 3, Episode 5, titled Roses on the Bed. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. So this will be our very first episode where we're recording video. And both, I think Jen and I mutually hate doing our hair and makeup. So we're doing this for you because we had an overwhelming response of people wanting to see us on video. I don't know why, but they want to see us. So here we are, and we're going to do video. We're going to try our best to do video every time. We'll see how that goes. But here's our first one.
We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah.
So this week we start off with Destiny and Sean, and they're having dinner with her mom and sister, and she asks him what else he's not telling her.
And we know what he's not telling them. Well, he lied about his age, and then he told them not only was he in his 30s, I forget the exact age, but that he has 2 kids. So he just got rid of 4 of his children.
Yeah.
Fuck you, you're gone. I have 2 kids now, and I'm also the very unbelievable age of, I think it was like 37. He did do, if he's 37, I'm 25. Come on now.
He doesn't look.
Believe that.
No.
Who would believe it? I understand they were communicating through basically photos and they didn't actually meet in person, but come on. The second she saw him, she had to go, this dude's not 37 years old. There's no way she could tell the kids thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. She asks him how many kids he has, and he says 6, and she's like, I need another drink. Like, I don't think you ever needed that first one.
She should have 6 kids, or 6 kids, 6 drinks, 1 for every one of his children, or 4 for the additional 4 children that he didn't tell her about.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be, at this point in time, she already has like 4 or 5 children she doesn't have custody of. So she also has quite a few children that they're not even mentioning. Like, it's a lot to have 6 kids, but if she has 5, then 6 isn't that big of a stretch.
Now, at any point, I know we haven't thus far, and definitely still not in this episode, we haven't talked about her kids. Hey, did she tell him? Do we know? Did she tell him? Does he know she has 5 kids? 4 or 5 kids. That's a lot of kids. Could you imagine? Like, hey,
No.
let's have our kids together. That's a lot of kids. I know that his kids, well, at least the one we met so far, which was the teenage daughter, but I don't know how old the others are.
I'm not sure. So she tells us that she's pissed that he lied about his age and how many kids he had. But what did you leave out here? Like, what about yourself did you not tell him?
She's acting as if she's some sort of a major catch. And it's partly his fault because he's making her feel this way. She's a felon. She has a bunch of kids, probably from different daddies. She's a lifelong drug addict. And I don't know. I don't know why he went this way to begin with, but I feel like he's making her feel like she's some sort of a prize. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Putting up $50,000 to get somebody out of jail is a pretty big commitment by anybody's standard.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone that would be like, hey, here's $50,000 for you.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get you right out. No problem. It's an
Uh-huh.
investment in our relationship.
I would have a telethon for you if you were in jail and I needed $50,000. I'd have like an old school 1980s telethon.
Have people answering the phones, the landlines,
Yep, the landlines. The with the dialing pad, yeah. It would
the
have to be like
rotary.
the rotary phone. Yeah. He's when they were talking about this thing about his age, the kids, whatever, he says, "Oh, I must have forgot. I would have just whacked him I would punched him, smacked him, I don't know, pushed him off his chair."
You forgot that you had 6 kids. Like, come on. There's a lot of things you could have said in that moment. That was not one of them.
I forgot my age and I forgot about my 4 additional children. Yeah. And the sister says something that we've heard a lot on this show, which is completely valid. He could be a serial killer. Absolutely, he could. It's not like everyone walks around going, "I'm a serial killer." No, they're not. You don't know they're a serial killer until they get caught.
And it's fair. Like, her mom asks why he would be interested in her. And he doesn't really have an answer. Like, why are you finding somebody in prison? Why are you finding somebody significantly younger than you? Why are you finding somebody who has a lifelong drug problem and has arguably, not even arguably, just does have a long history of being incarcerated?
Isn't it hysterical where the mom isn't like, "Hey, why are you interested in my daughter because she's the most wonderful thing in the world? Why are you interested in my daughter because she is a piece of crap? Why do you want that? Why would you want this?"
She's a problem, and you are going to regret this.
Yeah.
But Destiny tells Sean that she doesn't understand why he lied to her to begin with because age is just a number and she could have totally gotten over that.
Yeah, she could get over that, but she can't get over the kids. Destiny asks, "Are the kids all from the same girl?" Completely valid. But I would also ask her the same thing because she could have 5 baby daddies, and she probably does. We don't know yet.
Well, she asks him if he's lying about anything else and he says no, but as a liar, that's the answer that you're going to get every time. It's not like they're going to go, "Oh, yes, actually, I am lying about more things." They never do that.
No, I'm a liar. I've been lying to you about this, but that's all I'm lying about. I'm not going to lie or have not lied about anything else,
I
even
wouldn't
though I've
lie.
proven, yeah, I've proven I'm a liar, but I would never lie.
I would never lie to you now.
Exactly. Like, I'm finished lying now. That's it.
So she asks him how long it's been since him and Kelly have been together, and he says 7 years. But we know that's not true because the next second he comes out and tells us that he and Kelly tried to get back together just like a year before this.
That that daughter in that thrift store was well over 7 years old. How were
Oh,
they
yeah.
only together for 7? So now another lie.
7 years ago. So they
Yeah,
haven't
oh,
been
7
together
years
in 7.
ago. Okay,
Yes.
'cause I was like 7 year I missed that. I wrote down that they were together for 7 years, and I'm like, "That's really questionable." But okay, so they've been separated for 7 years, but they tried to get back together a year ago.
Right, but he's telling Destiny it's been 7 years since they've been now they were on and off for 22 years, and now he's
Okay.
saying, "But after that 22 years, it's been 7 years since we tried to rekindle." Total bullshit. It's been around a year, maybe. If he's admitting to a year, it's probably been 6 months.
Or it could be an ongoing thing based upon how angry his ex-wife was about this. It could have been an on and off again thing for a year. It couldn't, maybe it didn't abruptly stop. And that's why she was so ridiculously upset about all this when they were in the clothing store.
I would be upset about all this. You invest all that time into somebody, and then they turn around and just act like a fucking moron?
Mhm. These 2 bother me. They are not my favorite to cover, so they better get better or more interesting because they're rough.
Oh my god. And then she asks him when the last time he was with a woman was, and he says, "What? Fuck you, dude. You heard her." Like, I hate when people do that.
What? Oh, you want me to admit this too? Oh, hold on. Let me pull out my book of lies.
What did I say about this one?
He says a year ago, but okay, he was maybe honest about that. But what does it matter whether it was a year ago with some random woman or someone else or his ex-wife? What does it matter? Why would it be better for him to say, I was with some just chick at a bar versus his ex? I don't understand what's the problem.
If him and Kelly have an ongoing relationship and it's been up to the last year that that's going on, I think I personally would be more concerned about that than I would if he
Okay.
just went to a bar and hooked up with somebody he's never going to see again.
Okay, and in her world, probably that would make sense because it would be less emotional because they've been connected for 22 years. So
Right.
that may be more threatening. I see what you're saying.
Now, she says that if he lies to her again, she's going to punch him in the face because there's nothing he doesn't know about her. Bullshit.
I am going to guess there is a ton he doesn't know about her, or he just refuses to learn about her. But she says she's got a secret too that she didn't tell him.
Right, which they film her saying literally immediately after she says she would never lie to him. I'll never lie to you. I have a secret to tell him. What the fuck?
I'll never lie to you except but this one thing.
Production does them so dirty sometimes.
To say they do them dirty all the time.
Yeah. Next up, Jessica and Maurice, and he's talking about how big his daughter has gotten and says she's his biggest weakness.
Oh, we see him with his daughter. He seems to really love her. She seems to really love him. It was so cute. Yeah, he said that he chose the streets over his family, and he absolutely did. I don't think he's done with that life yet because we'll see it later on. I feel like he's not done yet. I don't like the way he acted in this episode.
Well, being back in Compton has to be hard for him. It's where he grew up.
Mhm.
He's going to be around the same type of people, finding out the same type of information that he was around before he went in. So I think that would be really difficult. And I could see how it'd be easy to slip back.
He wants to get out of there, and you can see why. Like, there's a reason. He could
Oh,
easily fall
yeah.
back. Yeah.
So Jessica says that she talks to his daughter on the phone all the time, but she's only spoken 2 words to his baby mama. What are you going to say, though? Like,
You don't know her. I'm wondering, like, what does she say to his daughter? That'd be weird. Hey, just talk to this random woman that I married, and it's your stepmom now. It's we I
they've been married for 6 years.
see, yeah.
It's not like he just pulled her out of his pocket, 3 months after they got married. They've been married for 6 years. I think it's understandable they would talk to each other, but like you said, what would they talk about? What do you talk about to a 10-year-old or however old she is?
And how does the mom have no they're just like, "Hey, yeah, who are you talking to?" "Oh, daddy's wife."
Mhm.
How does that go? I don't know.
Well, as soon as they pull up, his daughter runs out and just jumps right into his arms, and that was adorable. You could tell how excited she was to see him after forever.
Yeah, and he remarks on, like, how tall she is, and she does look like a tall girl. He says that it feels great to hug her and that she knows who her daddy is, and it feels great.
His ex says that he's never dated a white girl and she knows of, and that they are really the only 2 relationships he's ever had. So, if
Mhm.
that's true, then that doesn't make a lot of sense because let's think about this. If they are the only 2 relationships he's ever had, then half of the people he's dated are white, right? I mean, because there's only one of each.
Yeah, you got it. He and his baby mama were together from high school, so he's only ever had her and then Jessica. I don't know. I feel like we on the show we love to play the white the white and brown thing, it's like, they want them to seem like as if, oh, it's shocking he's dating a white girl or whatever. But I don't know if it's ever really that big of a deal, and not as much as they make it. I don't know.
It doesn't seem like it to anybody
No.
else. It's not like it's ever brought up. Like it'll be mentioned from time to time, but I think they're trying to make it into an issue where by and large it's not.
Yeah, just like they did with Maurice and his family. I think that is just like, hey, the production's just like, hey guys, can you act like as if you're shocked that she's white? And I don't. It's like, what time are we in here? What year is it?
We do know they try to make issues where there aren't. So
Yeah.
it could just be another one of their ploys to try to get ratings. I don't know, to get people riled up. But he kept getting in trouble, and his daughter's mother told him that she couldn't be with him if he was going to keep getting in trouble. And then he gets in trouble again, and she leaves him, and he's like, whoa, I didn't really actually think that was going to happen.
Yeah, he said she said what she said, and she freaking meant it. His I forgot to write down her name, but his baby mama, she also does say that, like, she doesn't know Jessica much, not because she's choosing to not know her, but because Jessica, like, basically keeps to herself, and she's not really been, like, outwardly like, "Hey, I'm Jessica," and, like, trying to talk to her. What I'm assuming is that she's just very much about her, like, not about herself, but to herself. And we'll see that in this scene too.
To a degree, I do feel like, I mean, she says she feels ignored, and he should have introduced her to everyone, and he absolutely should have. That's the least he could do.
He definitely needed to. He was saying, "Well, like, this isn't my family." Yeah, but don't let people sit there awkward. I would be mortified because I'm a really introverted person, and I'm not just gonna come out and be like, "Hey, hi, I'm Lisa. How are you? And nice to meet you, and you have a wonderful home." I'm just gonna sit there until you introduce me, and I would sit there just like Jessica,
Oh,
being very
yeah.
awkward. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I felt for her. And it made her feel insignificant and unimportant too, I think.
So I think that he should have introduced her, but the visit isn't about her. Ultimately, this is not about her. So I get to the awkwardness, and he should have, he didn't, but there's only so upset you can be because this is about his daughter.
Mhm. I mean, if I were the mom, though, I would have showed at least a little bit of interest in meeting Jessica, seeing that how she's gonna be physically now around my daughter.
I wouldn't want my child to talk to somebody that I wasn't also familiar with, because how do you know what they're saying to your kid?
Yeah. Especially she's young, his daughter's young.
And Jessica gets in the car, and she genuinely looks like she's gonna cry.
Mhm, she looks really upset. I think it was insulting to her. It was kinda like, "Oh, I don't" so I was at least happy that she didn't pull like a, "Oh, you didn't introduce me to your baby mama because you're still interested in her and you wanna get back together with her." Because that's what I would have expected us to see, but no, what she was hurt about is that was made to feel very insignificant and awkward, and she hated it because he coulda, at the very least, been like, "Hey, guys, this is Jessica," and then she
Right.
could have been like, "Nice to meet you, nice to meet you." And then if the conversation strayed away from that and everyone was just talking because they hadn't seen him forever and he's seeing his child, whatever. But she was just sitting there and no one spoke a damn word to her. None.
I felt bad for her.
Yeah.
So she repeats again that they are from two completely different worlds, which they are, but you knew this, and you have to think that there are some things that are going to differ culturally.
Not only did you know this, but everyone around you was telling you this also. I will say something now that I meant to say that I was meaning to say later on, but I have to say this. She says over and over and over again, "He's a Compton Crypt. He's a Compton Crypt." And I'm like, is that the allure that she was, like, looking for? That she wanted, uh, like, like a bad guy? Like a gang like, that turned her on, like, having, like, a gangster. Maybe she watched a lot of, like, 1990s gang movies. Like, I don't know. Like, what was it? Like Boys in the Hood and stuff. She's like, I got myself a Compton crib.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why. She does bring it up a lot, but
A
again,
lot.
like you said, everybody tells her that this isn't going to be an issue, and she knows it's going to be an issue, but she signed up for it.
Yep. It's like, hey, everyone is telling you, they're slapping her in the face with a red flag, and she's doing it herself, but she's just like, oh, everything's gonna be fine.
Now she wonders if she's going to be an outcast in his family, and she's worried that this whole thing is going to be much harder than she thought it would be. How did you think it was going to go? I'm just curious, like, how did you think it was all going to go?
So that's the thing. He says, this is not my family. So I hope it's gonna go differently when she does meet his family. I think it will. But yeah, this wasn't, I guess he's basically saying, look, like this wasn't about you, but still.
Next up, Chevelle and Quaylen, and the three of them stop off at a barbecue place. Chevelle, Quaylen, and his mother.
And I I don't dislike mom. I think she's calming down a little bit, or like she at first she came out guns blazing about the my boy is not living, but in this scene she kind of is like, well, this might happen. He says today is a blessed and beautiful day. Chevelle goes on the little chalkboard, and when you enter the restaurant, and says and writes Quaylon was here, which I thought was pretty cute. But they seem to be getting along, and this is probably his first real meal after leaving prison, which must be exciting.
He says that this is by far the happiest day of his life, and it's surreal being able to touch Chevelle.
Hmm. They've never met in person, or they did. Did they meet in person, face to face? I
I
think
don't
maybe they.
remember.
I don't remember. Hmm. So they're sitting down, and they're looking at the menu. He said, I'm making sure I didn't miss anything. He just, and then he tells us that he is not on parole and he is not on probation. He can do whatever he wants. He is not under the watchful eye anymore.
He says as a kid, he started getting into trouble around age 10. It started with petty theft and graduated into drugs.
That I was taken back 10 years old. That's nuts. And I was thinking, where was mom? How were you 10 years old? And mom, she's watching over you as an adult, but when you're 10 years old, you're running around like stealing shit. And
I think there are people who have kids, and it's not that they're bad parents or they've done a bad job. It's just who that kid, that person is. And if they're walking home from school and they stop off at a store, because he said it started with petty theft. I'm assuming he's not holding stores up at age 10, but he could go and steal a candy bar from the store and get in trouble for that. And that's, you can't watch him all the time.
that's very true. And the area that they are from isn't the best area. And he did say he was a good student, though. He did go from straight A's then basically to prison.
He says he can't wait to get home and see Maila.
Hmm. So I hope that that goes well. He's saying, I can drink, I can do whatever I want to do. And mom is now going to go to the restroom, and it's going to leave Chevelle and Quaylan to talk alone, and they're just talking about his daughter, how they're so excited about everything. And she says again that the fact that he loves her daughter so much is what makes her so happy.
So mom says, how can she go back to Houston not knowing if he's going to get in trouble in Kansas City? And I understand where she's coming from. She doesn't want to lose him again, but he is a grown man at this point. He has to make his own decisions and live his own life and do his own thing.
Hmm. Yeah, he didn't ask her to move away with the hopes that her little boy 12 years later was going to move back with her into a completely different state. I don't know why she was banking on this. He just doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do what mommy says. He wants to stay here and live with Chevelle, he's going to, and there's not a thing she can do about it.
I don't know. There might be. She might have more pull over him than we think.
Personally,
he does tell her that he's not 16 anymore, and Mom says, well, the threat is still there. The threat will always be there.
mm-hmm. Yeah, she says, well, how am I supposed to be comfortable with you here and then I'm there? Well, just like you would with any of your children if you don't live in the same state. You just have to trust that he's now a different person and he's not going to be the same old Quaylon that was getting in trouble and that he's not going to go to prison again. You just have to trust he is an adult.
So he says there are threats everywhere, Houston or Kansas City, it doesn't matter where you go, but you can't live your life in fear. And she needs to trust him to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chevelle just says, like, look, like, he's gonna be okay, everything's gonna be okay, and she just wants to be at peace when she goes home. Then just choose it. Choose to just not be worried. You could check on him, check on your little boy, call him, you know?
I don't think that moving him to Houston is going to keep him out of prison if that's where he was going to end up anyway.
Exactly.
So when Mom says that she wants him to go to Houston with her, both Quaylon and Chevelle say no. And he tells his mom that he doesn't want to go anywhere that Chevelle isn't comfortable being.
Yeah.
So he says he did tell them both that he was going to live with them, and he feels overwhelmed because he doesn't know what the plan is at this point.
He just needs to do what is best for him. If he truly does love Chevelle and want to be a father to her child, he has one of two choices. Ask her to move to Texas or ignore mom and stay there. That's the two choices.
I think he knows she's not going to move to Texas.
Yeah.
But Mom says she's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that she doesn't lose him again. I don't know what that means. But Chevelle says when it comes to Quaylon that she's going to get what she wants. So both of them ultimately feel like they're going to win.
Yeah, he can't choose for himself. It's either going to be what Chevelle wants or what mom wants, not about what Quaylon wants, not at all.
Next up, Tyrese and Shanda, and he's packing up a suitcase and says he hopes she likes what he gave her.
Mm-hmm. Today is her release day, and he is staying in a hotel close to her prison, and he is feeling super excited, and he feels like she's gonna get her life back on track, just like how they all say, like, this love is gonna fix everything, that she's gonna change her ways.
He said she's in there for selling drugs, but she really wants to get her life back on track. And I'm sure she convinced him of that.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And then he looks in the mirror and he says, I'm looking good. And he's not wrong.
No, he's lucky, man. He's an older guy. He really is an attractive older man. He could have gotten anyone else. It's just I'm so shocked at this one.
Why he'd even want her? Yeah, I don't know. He seems like a catch.
Yeah.
But he puts on the blue suit and the sharp blue shoes.
I didn't realize that we were literally head to toe blue. I knew that the coat was blue. I knew that the pants were blue. I don't know if I paid attention in all the posts that the shoes are blue too. So we've got everything blue except for the black shirt.
I love it. I love it. At first I
like
thought the shoes were black, but then I saw in the next scene that they were actually blue, and I was like, oh yeah. Yep, you did it.
I just said he looks like he's like going to church or something.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people wear matchy stuff like that a lot if they're doing something fancy. If that's his style, that's his style. You don't have to like it, but he liked it. He felt good in it. He thought he was dressed to impress.
For what it's worth, I liked it.
I thought it was cool looking.
Many people like it based on the talk in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
So he says that even though they've only been dating 3 months, he's already visited her 13 times. Now that is commitment.
That is a lot of time. That's far more than people have visited each other when they've been together for years and in, and in prison. He
Yeah.
really wanted Chanda.
He says she's a good communicator, a woman of strong character, loyal, loving, caring, and understanding. And if she really was all of these things, then it would have been a great catch. Like he would have done good. But
Yeah,
I feel like that's maybe not the case.
maybe not. Yeah, I think a lot of people say whatever they have to say to get whatever they want while they're in, and then when they get out, they become a different person. I honestly feel really bad for him. I'm not going to fault him for believing it. We've seen it a million times. He believed
Right.
it.
He says he's excited to have new experiences with her, such as TV, cuddling, vacations, watching movies, and having sex.
How is she that she could have had a life like that, right? Other than the life she's known, which is in and out of prison, drugs, crime. And she could have had a nice life. I don't know. Dumb.
Missed out. So he's spreading rose petals on the bed and says the first time they're together, he is going to put a smile on her face for days.
I have a question. Is that ever impressive? Has anyone ever put like rose petals all over shit for you and you were just like, oh, like I know. I was just like, cool. Like, can we clean this up because this is a mess.
Well, I don't think any of them, and I could be wrong, they could have been legitimate rose petals, but they all looked like the artificial rose petals. So it was more about the decoration, I guess. But it would smell good, I think, if you used real rose petals.
Still annoying though. Like, it's like, all right, we gotta, after we fling all this shit on the floor, now we gotta clean it up. I would have, I'm gonna go with like, I'd rather have like a bouquet of flowers rather than flower petals all over the freaking place. I don't know. I feel like it's a very cliche, the rose petals everywhere. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't like it.
So he says when she walks out the door and sees him, her country ass is going to be smiling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we see him in his head to toe blue suit. Um, you know, he's gonna put that smile on her face, and in the end, she gets to spend 4 hours with him, and then she has to go to the halfway house. So they gotta get this all out of the way before she goes away.
Yeah, they only have those 4 hours.
Mhm.
He says he can smell freedom in the air as he stands in front of the prison waiting for her to be released.
Mhm. Yeah, he's got the binoculars and he's looking for her. He wants to see whether she's coming out or not. Is this the first time we've seen binoculars? I was trying to
I
think.
think so.
Yeah,
Now, he says the woman that's about to walk out that door could be the woman he's going to spend the rest of his life with.
sure. So in 3 minutes, she'll be walking out. And then he tells us a little bit of his backstory. He says when he was younger, he got married not out of love but out of lust, and that he's just ready for um this to be his one woman, and he just wants to be done, like we said in a previous episode, done with the bachelor life. He thinks that Shonda is the one and that he's going to just be a one woman man and this is going to be it.
Well, the producer asks him, is it possible that she could be using him? And he was like, no. This is what I don't
Nah.
understand. This is the part that's frustrating. If you ask me if anybody could be using me, there are such few exceptions where I would go, no. You know what I mean? Like I'd be like, maybe, I don't know.
Probably. It could
Probably.
be.
Most likely.
Yeah, I'm so like paranoid over everything. I'd be like, oh yeah. I mean, air is a strong possibility
That's
that the
right.
person that I just bought my drink from at the 7-Eleven could be out to get me.
You never know. He says he teaches his kids to follow their heart and hopes he didn't drive all the way there just for nothing.
Mhm. I think that's the least of his concerns is driving all the way there to pick up his woman. I think he's got a lot more to, like, worry about in the long run rather than that one drive.
Yeah, but if she doesn't come out, that's a big hit. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the drive itself will just be a sting having to drive home, knowing that plus he wasted all that money on the hotel and all the crap that he bought her.
Yeah, he needs to just start walking around like they have in other episodes going, "Hey, do you know Shonda? Did you see her?" Walk up to the random person in in the lobby of the airport. "Have you seen Lindsay?"
You know, they try to play off every person who comes out 5 minutes late as if they're never gonna come out and the relationship is over and they've run off to Tahiti or whatever. So we don't know. She very
You
well
would
could still be coming out. It's like 15 minutes or a half hour, and I mean, even an hour, it could be 5 hours. You know, they come out when they're ready to let them out.
I would love to know, and actually, since we're going to be doing another interview, that is a question, and I don't know if you wrote it down. We should really ask, like, how long do you actually wait when they're recording you waiting for your person to come out of prison? Is it 15 minutes? Is it 5 minutes? Is it an hour? How long are you there? Or is production sitting there recording you acting as if you're waiting for 3 hours and they're never gonna come out? We have the classic scene where he sees the white van and he sees a lot of women in their gray uniforms, but he doesn't know if it's Shonda. We see this all the time. Is this something that is just like, hey, this is exciting, this has worked before, let's do this by production?
I feel like when Scott was at the airport waiting for Lindsay, that there's a good chance she wasn't even supposed to come home that day. Like, I don't know what
I
to
feel that.
believe that they put on there anymore.
I feel that. That felt so freaking set up. I can't.
Next up, Destiny and Sean. And Destiny says, "You're like 20 years older than me," and asks him if she's the youngest girl he's ever been with. And he says yes. But again, Sean loves to lie. So we have no idea. And she's not that young.
No. And I'm gonna tell you right now, she sure doesn't look that young. She looks old as fuck.
She looks significantly older. Yeah.
Especially when she loses the weight and she's real
Mhm.
skinny again, man, she looks like older. She looks like in her 40s, late 40s, very mature, elderly, older woman.
Well, drugs will age you, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She says she's been out for only a few hours and has already found out multiple things that he's lied to her about. And you? I'm sure you're being your array of honesty.
Mhm. Yeah, there were a long line of guys waiting for her to have no place to live, no money, no clothes, nothing to her name, years of drug abuse, 5 kids. You get what you get, ma'am. You got a guy that looks like Butthead of Beavis and Butthead who stares it into, like, the abyss, like, as if he's a deer in headlights, who is constantly lying to you. "This is what you get, ma'am. Here you go."
It's just he lies about everything. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
make any sense. There's no logic to it. But then she's like, "I'm really bothered by all the times you lied to me, but I'm going to get over it." Well, then you're not that bothered by it.
She's gonna get over it because she has no choice. Her family isn't gonna take her in. You can tell that they wanna see her, they wanna know her, but they don't trust her. So Sean is all she has. He's gonna help her get on her feet, and she has to put up with the fact that he's constantly lying to her. Because what else is she gonna do? Sh This is her ticket.
Yeah, she doesn't have another choice. Who else is going to support her?
Nope.
And she says, "Well, you could be a cheater and I wouldn't care. Just don't lie about it." I call bullshit.
I I oh, I can't wait to I all right, I hate them, but also I can't wait to see what happens. Do you feel me on that? I don't like them, but I feel like we need them because they're gonna be the most exciting part of this season, I think.
There's so much chaos between them
Mhm.
and everybody that's involved with them. It's just crazy. And she said that even though he's a liar, she definitely still loves him. Uh huh. Okay.
She does not. I was like, come on. I think I actually actively outwardly said, come on. When I was watching that. You you do not love him. I feel like in a way, in his own way, he may think he loves her in whatever way Sean would love someone, but she does not love him.
No, she doesn't. She needs him.
Yeah.
But she's thought about this and she says he's kind hearted, loving, attentive, and tries so hard to make her happy. I believe that he tries so hard to make her happy. But what is his end game? Like, what are you going after? What do you think? Like, this is going to be happily ever after? And what does that look like?
I I really don't know. And then I'm thinking, like, it doesn't seem like as if he tried to make his marriage or he wasn't even married, his relationship with like his ex all magical like this. And they had 6 kids and they tried to get back together and couldn't even get back together. I don't know what the hell is going on here. I don't know if he believes what he's saying when he says it. I don't know why she's believing this bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
I think she knows it's bullshit and she's like, that's fine. I'll take care. This is like some of the least bad things of men I've dealt with. That's total speculation, but I am sure, having dealt with men who are also addicted to drugs, that this is not the worst thing you've ever dealt with.
I we see them like after like kind of like snuggling, sitting, laying together or whatever the fuck, and she says to him like I want you to get me a Coach purse, but first I want to go parasailing. And I'm thinking to myself, man, like I feel like at this point, like she feels like he, one, has money, two, is going to constantly entertain her and give her shit.
Well, I don't think she cares about him at all. I think this is all her using him. And to a degree, him the same. I think he wants to feel good about himself and look good. So he's trying to find a very attractive woman. I
But
mean, his current
okay,
wife is significantly more attractive than he is.
I know, but you disagreed with me, and the entire Facebook group disagrees with me that Destiny was okay looking. But I don't see that she's any sort of like drop dead gorgeous, like arm candy looking kind of woman. So
No,
I don't.
but don't forget that he has $50,000 on the line and he was
Oh,
looking at a picture that was highly, highly edited. So what he thought he was buying and what he actually bought are two totally different things.
okay, yeah, yep. He bought the Timu girlfriend. But anyways, yeah, he's in this. He's $50,000 in. He's gotta stick with it now. He in his mind he could be like, oh fuck, what have I done? But he's just like, I have $50,000 and I'm not willing to lose that. So here we go. Let's go parasailing while you're holding your Coach purse.
I mean, we don't know that he's going to give it to her. We just know that that's what she's asking for. And it's such a weird collection of things. I want a Coach purse. Are we going parasailing? Can we jump out of a plane? What are you talking about?
That was confusing to me. She's just like, let's go skydiving. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what were these conversations these two had? He's like, baby, I'm going to give you everything. We are going to do the most adventurous stuff. We are going to go parasailing. We are going to jump from a plane. We are going to ride rail cars. We are like, I am going to, we're going to buy a yacht and we are going to sail the world. What the fuck? What happened here?
Yeah, I don't
She
know.
didn't just make this shit up. She must have said in her delusional way, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he said, we can do all of that. That's what I feel happened. Anything you want.
He says that she's very hard to figure out because half the time she's one person and half the time she's somebody else. And he doesn't know which one he's going to get. And that could be a real issue for a number of reasons. Could explain a lot.
Yeah, well, welcome to the effects of long-term drug abuse. Hello. This is what you got yourself into. Now deal with it.
So they get to their hotel room and she says it's really nice and she's super excited to sleep on a real bed. I would be so excited.
Yeah, that I get. That that must be probably one of the best things that and going out to eat and probably having alcohol.
She did have her alcohol.
Oh yeah.
She tells him they're going to have a lot of fun on that bed tonight. And he says he's been waiting a long time to be intimate with her. Anything that involves him and intimacy is just
Ugh.
repulsive.
Could you imagine that little weaselly mustache coming at your face? And you're like, no
No.
thanks.
Blech. He says he thinks she's going to be very wild in the bedroom. And she told him that she's going to tie him up and he was going to give it to her hard. And I projectile
Oh,
vomited at the very thought.
I feel it. I sometimes I want to watch the edited version, I swear, because I can't. I can't with these statements. It's so disgusting. It when they speak like that, it's almost I'd rather see them in the woods on a blanket. I cannot.
Ugh. I don't know why they have to make all of these scenes so gross. Like,
Yeah.
we can find out that they're having sex without it having to be in such a repulsive manner.
And we can just assume because it's talked about, so we can just like be like, yeah, I mean, chances are at some point they're gonna have sex. We don't we don't need all this.
You can just tell us.
Yeah, we're gonna have sex. Cool. Moving
Right on.
along.
So are lots of other people. He said he's going to give it to her as much as she wants it, anytime and anywhere she wants it.
What?
Just when I thought I couldn't get more awful.
Oh, um, she can't wait to take a shower. That's the other thing. Like they want to take a shower. They want to sleep in a real bed. Yeah, I get it. I, ugh. I wrote so big. I'm like so lame. This whole thing was so fucking lame. I couldn't take it. She comes when she came out of the shower with like the flowers on the bed, like I said, the rose petals. He actually took, it wasn't rose petals, he took like a flower and made a heart out of it. And I'm like, come on, man. I couldn't with this. It was just so cliche and gross and weird. And I didn't like it.
I would be whatever. I don't feel strongly about the rose petals. I just think like the artificial rose petals are cliche, like you said.
It's just all cliche.
So she says they've been building the relationship for 10 months and now she wants to have some fun.
Yeah. She's nobody has ever done this stuff for me. And it's only been 10 months. Nobody has done this stuff for you because you why? Because of who you are. Of course, no one has done this stuff for you because of the life you've lived. Who was going to do this for you with the way you were living? Who?
Somebody significantly older than her.
And with 6 kids.
She says that the last time she had sex with a man was 3 years ago, but Sean doesn't know that she was having sex with women while she was incarcerated, and she plans on continuing to sleep with women even though the two of them are in a committed relationship.
We've heard this one before too, but I would say you'd have to be pretty naive to think that someone who is in prison for an extended period of time is not doing other things to get by, if you know what I mean. Uh, Come on. You'd have to be pretty naive. But is this her secret though? I was thinking, like, is this the whole secret?
I doubt it.
Women thing? Yeah, I didn't think so either.
She seems like somebody who's got like not a little secret, but has big secrets and many of them.
A coach purse full of secrets.
Next up, Scott and Lindsay, and Scott's calling the prison to see where Lindsay is because she didn't pretend show up at the airport.
Yeah. Sorry. Grandma and Miley walk in because they were confused too, right? They thought she was going to be at the airport. Yeah, right. And then he says, "I'm on the phone with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Just at that moment, just as Miley and Grandma are coming in, he just happens to be on that phone with the Federal Bureau of Prisons. Right.
Well, he says he invited them over so they could have a group call with them. Why do you need a group call? What's information I would assume could go to anybody? He could say, I'm her husband, I'm her brother, I'm her dad. You could say whatever you wanted, but the whole thing seemed really weird. They have to come to my house so that we can all call the Bureau of Prisons that I'm already talking to.
I know, and I don't think that the whoever it is, the god of the Bureau of Prisons is like, okay, I'll hold on until Grandma and and Miley come in so we can all have this group chat. That's not how this is gonna go. Be like, hang on, sir, I've got two other people coming that need to be on this call.
It was very
No,
strange. I
it is.
mean, you can tell to a certain degree what's faked here, like staged because either they didn't show up or they made it up. It's so hard to know. But he says it's been days since he has even spoken to her. So he didn't think that her not calling him the day she was, or the day before, the day of, that she was getting out, none of that was suspicious to him. Because this is just the day after she was supposed to get out. This isn't days later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he says, well, last night was a complete disaster. So yeah, he were making it look like as if this is literally the next day. Because remember, they told him call the next day, and so he's calling the next day. I don't know. And then we say, well, it's been 3 days since Lindsay has supposed to be released. So I got like, I'm confused. Is it the day, like 3 days, but then it's the day after and you're talking on the phone? What's the truth here? What? Did we get mixed up?
Could be.
What are we trying to do here?
Miley says after she found out she wasn't going to be able to see Lindsay, she went home and cried for 2 hours. I would totally believe that. You think you're going to see your mom finally, and then she just doesn't show up.
Yeah, she really had her hopes up. Of course, it's her mom, And this would be really fucking shitty if Lindsay knew about this, knowing that she would be. I don't give a shit about Scott. I don't give a shit about Grandma. But if you fully knew you were going to disappoint your daughter, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I really hope she didn't know this.
I hope not. Grandma said the night before was heartbreaking, and she was ready to tell Lindsay that she has to stop acting up and it's time for her to raise her own child. That seemed like an aggressive step. Not that I don't think Lindsay should be raising her own child. It just seemed like maybe this wasn't the right moment to be like, and she needs to take her kid back. But I'm being harsh.
I get it though. I was a little bit taken back by that too. It was almost like as if a statement where she basically was saying, "Look, I'm fucking tired. I've been raising your kid for you. Like, take your kid back." And I don't.
That's how it sounded.
It was this like like you said, very aggressively. She needs to take care of this kid. She needs to walk out of that prison, have nothing to her name, and take this kid. What? No, especially because she's been raising Miley.
Right.
I've had it with her.
Yeah. Scott asks the prison if Lindsay is still incarcerated and says he wonders if she's playing games with him. Why would you say that in front of... Did she say that in front of... He said that in front of her grandma and Miley?
But why would she... What games would she be playing and why is my confusion.
So the release, I don't know, because it would have been better to stay in there if he is financially covering for Miley and Grandma, but telling him you're going to get out when you're not, what is the logic there? Like, unless he was like, I can't hang on to this if you're not going to get out. And then she's like, oh, well, actually, I'm going to be out in 3 weeks or whatever, knowing that that wasn't the case. I don't know.
I feel like Scott would do anything and everything for her and anyone else in her life that she wanted him to do stuff for, no matter what, inside prison or outside prison. So I don't know, because I think that she's got him wrapped around her finger.
Next up, we have a very quick check-in with Destiny and Sean, and she says she's had a lot of relationships in prison and even has the name of some of the women tattooed on her. And then she shows off all of the tattoos, and she has quite a few.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's got Felicia on her chest, and she thought Felicia was the one for her, but it turns out that that's not the case. And then she has Monique on her arm, and she says she's gonna have to cover that one up too. I thought, and then someone's on her foot, right?
I thought she had like 4 people, but yeah, she's got one on her foot. I'm not sure. I didn't write them all
Allison's on her
down.
foot. I don't know.
Well, she says there's probably many more to come. That sounds like you're in a committed relationship. Everything's
It
going fine.
does. Yep, it does. It absolutely does. I'm gonna just get I'm gonna get everyone who I come across, like for whatever reason, tattooed on me somewhere. That's my plan.
I just feel like at a certain point, it's really obvious that you make poor decisions and you should stop doing it. You know what I mean? I make poor decisions and I should probably stop doing it, but this is just one.
She's got poor decisions all over her body, though, in more than one way.
Next up, Quaylen and Chevelle, and they check into the hotel, and she says she has a romantic night planned, but she's worried that he's going to want to spend time with his mom.
Well, we know that he's not going to halfway house or anything like that. Being worried that he's going to want to spend time with his mom is irrational. I mean, I think that she I don't know. Maybe she meant like maybe he's going to want to be with mommy rather than be in this hotel room and have sex. I don't know
Yes.
what she meant.
I think that's exactly what she meant. She's saying she's worried that he just got out and he's going to want to spend time with his mom, but she wants to spend time alone with him and so they can have sex.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're going to want to go have coffee with your mom over having sex with me. I don't know.
I mean, he hasn't seen his mom in years, so he could want to hang out with her and talk to her. And he did tell his mother that he was going back to Houston with her, so you don't really know what he's got in mind.
Yeah.
And to be fair, him and mom sit in the lobby and start talking while Chevelle goes up to the room. So she doesn't know how long he's going to be, or does she? Because what she does is fucking hilarious. She decides that she doesn't want to wait. So she just calls a fucking car to come pick his mom up.
That was so funny. It's just like, I just called a car to send his mom off to her friend's house.
Yep.
Or her
Bye.
friend's house. Yeah. She's like, I called you a car. I think she means like an Uber or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a Lyft. I called you. I called you car service. Here's your chauffeur.
That's so funny. Okay, it's time for you to leave now.
Bye.
Mom says she's happy for him, but if he can't adjust, not to forget that he's got family that will support him.
Yeah, oh. So I gotta figure him out. I need to see these two more. So Quaylon says that Chevelle is his woman and he wants to be with her. So at this point, he has this feeling like and thinking like, yeah, I'm just saying whatever to my mom and I really am gonna stay here with Chevelle. We don't know, but that's kind of what it's seeming. And Chevelle says, well, like, we have to get creepy again and really gross and weird. Chevelle said that when he went to prison, he was a boy, and now he gets to experience a grown ass woman. Can we not? Can we not?
I mean, yeah, that's true. I mean, he is a grown ass man, and this is his first relationship. So I think that sex would be important to him. Plus, he's been in prison for what, 12 years, 14 years? A long fucking time.
Since 17, yeah. So I guess this would be a very different experience for him all the way around.
And mom says there's no way that he's staying in Kansas City. So she hasn't given up, and she's not just like, oh, if he needs to stay here, that'll be fine. Mom wants his ass back in Houston with her.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You know, Quaylon says it's bittersweet having his mom here because like it's been 12 years since he's been able to spend real time with his mom, but that it's been like a long ass time since he's had sex with a woman. And he specified woman though, which caught me. And I don't know if you caught that too. It's been a long time since I've had sex with a woman. Like, why didn't you just say sex?
They all say that. They all say with a woman or a man.
I don't know. That one I caught it. I don't know. It felt weird.
He says while he was locked up, they had hours and hours to talk about all the things they were going to do to each other, and now he's ready to see if she's going to do all the things she said she was going to.
Gross.
I wasn't bothered by this, oddly. I don't know if it's because they don't gross me out. I don't know. It wasn't as gross as it typically is. Do I love it? No.
Not every couple has, like, they talk about it, but not every couple do they show them in like a sexual situation. And they really didn't here. They kind of just like shut the door and like kicked the like they talked
Yeah.
about it in a gross way. Not as gross as we've heard, but yeah.
So she's also decorating the room with flower petals, and she's wearing a robe and pouring what I assume is champagne, and he knocks on the door.
Yeah, and then when she opens the door, she's like, "Well, remember when I said I was gonna treat you like a king?"
So he jumps on the bed. I don't know if you noticed this, but the manner in which he laid down on the bed made me laugh so hard just because of all of the rumors going on about him being gay. He jumps on the bed, stomach first, butt up. And I was like, what is supposed to happen with this? It's just odd to me that that's the first position you came to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's why I mentioned the woman thing. Mm-hmm. So she says that she said he's going to be my husband and the father of my kids. So apparently they've talked about having other kids. You know, she only has one. She says kids like plural kids.
Yeah. So she's kissing his chest, and he kicks the camera crew out and says, "You don't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here." Next up, Jessica and Maurice is laying on a couch, and she tells him he's got to get up and said he's way too big for that couch.
Yeah, and then we have his cousin Roni there. Or is that what it was? Ronnie?
Hmm.
I don't know. And he was bitching about his parole himself and how much it sucks. So he's on parole too, and his cousin said he gave him the opportunity to live there with him while he and Jessica are waiting for his parole transfer, which was nice.
That is nice. She says they are stuck in California and she misses Vegas and her bed. She says she feels isolated and out of place, and I would too.
Hmm. Yeah, there's also no privacy in this home because it seems like there's a bunch of people there. And she's getting like kind of worried about this whole situation. And Maurice is sitting there and he's going through the photos that are also, I guess, obituary photos and obituaries of like friends that have like died due to like gang violence. I'm assuming. And he said, "Man, like all these people I grew up with, like they're all dead." Well, you
Right.
think that would make you want to get away from this life even more.
So he reflects on how many of his friends have died and says that it could have happened to him too if he hadn't been in prison. So, I mean, now we know that he is paralyzed. He was shot and he's paralyzed. He's in a wheelchair. So he didn't escape the violence anyway.
No. I guess that's one way of looking at it though, or is like looking at the bright side, like, well, yeah, I was in prison, so I couldn't be killed like my friends were. Okay, but it's up to you to get away from it and not be in that spot. And like you said, he didn't stay away from it. He is paralyzed.
Roni says that bullets don't have a name, and even a 4-year-old got shot. And that bothered him even more because he has a 5-year-old.
Yeah. Um okay, so again we hear, well, Maurice was a Compton Crip. We get it. She doesn't want him near any of this anymore. So it scares her because she doesn't even know if he's going to get the transfer and how long it will take. So they may be stuck here in the exact place that caused him to be in the position that he's in now. Not really, because he didn't have to choose to be in a gang and be a Compton Crip.
Well, they go outside and a car drives by, and he says that the guy inside the car made a motion of a gun shooting him. I don't know if that's true or not. It seems like something they would say for dramatic effect. It could be true.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I kind of was leaning on like the fact that it might be true because he would be recognized, right? Ah, and have a lot of involvement and have people maybe still looking for him. Who knows?
It's possible. I mean, but he has been locked up for years.
Mhm.
Next up, Scott and Lindsay. And Scott asks the prison if she's still there. And Scott tells us that the prison workers were rude assholes. I'm sure you were a ray of sunshine, sir.
I would expect them to be because they put up with a lot of bullshit and you're sitting here bothering the fuck out of them and just worried about where the fuck Lindsay is. And they're probably like, man, this guy's calling again looking for Lindsay. Come on. Oh, it's Scott again.
I thought he was rude. Like, he was
He
rude to
was rude.
them.
He is rude though. He really kind of is rude and arrogant in a way.
Mhm. He says he doesn't know why she didn't get on the plane, and now he has a missing person and a very upset 10-year-old girl.
I don't know what we're doing here. He wants to speak to her case manager now. I didn't know that they had a case manager. Like, who's the case manager? They have
I
a
don't
case
know.
manager?
Apparently. I mean, they told him that she's still there, so then he's wanting to speak to this case manager. I would imagine everybody would. Just so there's got to be somebody overseeing the prisoners.
Yeah, well, could it be kind of like the same as like if you were like in a nursing home or a hospital and you had a social worker, maybe?
Probably.
Like someone who helps you make your plan for when you leave? I don't know.
I don't know. So Scott asks the guy why she's still there, and the prison worker says he doesn't know. Why would he? And then, they tell him that the information he's asking for is not public record. Like, they can't give it to him. And he's like, well, her mom's here. Who cares? It's still not public record. I don't care who you have on the phone. You didn't need to do this group phone call. They would have told anybody if they could have told anybody.
She's an adult. It's not like she's like in a juvenile facility or something like that. She's a full-blown adult. What is a public record would be like a mugshot or whatever you were convicted for or something like that. Not just all the information in the world uh, over a prisoner who's in prison and is basically in the government's care. You know. I don't know what he's thinking. Well, you must tell me now. Why? Why do they have to tell you?
They don't. It's just him acting arrogant. But Grandma says she doesn't know what's going on and that Lindsay had called 3 days prior and said she was getting out. Okay. And like, I would have to hear from somebody when they're getting out to feel comfortable that they're actually getting out. I wouldn't be like, I talked to you a month ago, so you should still be here when I expect you to be here. No.
No, he. Hmm.
And then Grandma says she thinks that the problem is that Lindsay's just smart enough to stay in trouble and she knows how to piss off the guards.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is probably one of the most truthful things we've heard about her thus far. Scott says this bullshit fucking line. He says, "Well, Lindsay is very attractive and people in there can mess with her because of this." Come on, man, what the fuck? I hated that statement so much. Like Lindsay is the end all be all of women and they're all out to get her because she's attractive. Bitch, there's probably a lot of fucking attractive women in there. Come on
Oh,
now.
yeah.
He is very like, I have this beautiful being that everyone's gonna envy me over. Fuck, man, come on.
He's very preoccupied with jealousy between other men and him or women and her. It's just this idea that he has that he puts her on a pedestal almost.
Only about her looks, though. He has not
Mhm.
mentioned one thing other than her looks. Nothing. She's beautiful.
Correct.
That's it.
Well, Grandma tells Miley that Lindsay probably cried herself to sleep that night too. I don't know, but that is a fucked up thing to say to a child.
Man, Grandma. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here.
She also told Miley that the prison worker didn't care that Miley had cried herself to sleep. Why would you say these kind of things to a child, a 10-year-old little girl? Like, what the fuck, man?
I'm like, somebody get this kid away from Grandma. Maybe Lindsay does need to come out and take Miley away.
Some of the stuff she said made it sound like she didn't want to be watching Miley at all. Like, I'm done doing this. Get your ass out. And maybe that's how she felt. I don't know. But that's how they portrayed it for sure.
Yeah.
We do find out that this day they're making these calls and talking is apparently Lindsay's birthday.
Yeah, he could have been like, hey, prison guard, federal bureau guy, it's her birthday. Can't you give a girl a break?
Oh my God.
Like, they fucking care. She's beautiful and it's her birthday. Let her be. Let her go.
She's so pretty. How could you keep her in there?
How could you possibly? Can't you see she's beautiful?
Well, Grandma tells Miley that if Lindsay doesn't call that day, maybe she'll call in a week. That poor girl.
I dislike him so much that I hope it is a week or more.
He says he's feeling confused, frustrated, and angry. And he says he moved all the way out there, bought a house for her, and now he's wondering if he's going through this emotional roller coaster for nothing.
Oh,
Maybe.
Come on, man. He's gonna go through whatever for her because she's beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He'll do whatever.
She's the end all be all. Yeah, she's the most beautiful woman in the world.
And we round this week up with Sean and Destiny, and Sean rolls a cart to the room and tells Destiny that he got her a wide selection for breakfast because he didn't know what she would want. And I obviously do not like him, but I thought this was actually kind of sweet.
I would be like, fuck the rose petals, bring me like a wide selection of breakfast foods and I'm in. Because you know my feeling about breakfast. I love a good hotel breakfast. I don't want like the hotel breakfast that you bring me though. I want to go to a like choose my own food lobby breakfast.
He rolled a whole cart up there for her though. Like, I mean, if you need a cart to transport the amount of food you're bringing, I feel like you're bringing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
She says she slept really well. And he says he knows because she took up the whole bed and she said she's not used to sleeping in bed with other people. He always has to make some childish joke. I get that this isn't that big of a deal, but you know, it's like you smell, you take up the whole bed. What the fuck, man?
Right? Yeah, he's like he like I don't feel like we've seen him do anything but say shitty stuff to her. Nothing like, oh, you're beautiful, I love you, you're the best woman on earth. No, you stink and you take up the whole fucking bed. Here's some breakfast.
And unfortunately, he tells us that they had sex the night before and it started in the hot tub and moved to the bed. Didn't need to know that.
Ew, he said it felt like it felt light and like explosions were everywhere. I'm like, come on, dude, man. I don't want it. I don't want to think about explosions anywhere in that room.
He says they had sex the night before and it started in the hot tub and moved to the bed.
Yeah, he said it felt light and like explosions were everywhere. And I'm like, I don't want to hear you talking about explosions anywhere. Like in a hotel room. That's disgusting. Please.
All of his past relationships, he was just having sex. But in this case, he was making love. Gag?
That is fuck, gag, barf. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Destiny has changed all that. It is making love now. Okay. Whatever. You have fucking 6 kids. None of that was love. Nice. Let's tell your kids that. All right. I think this guy is 100% full of shit. I think this ends here. I think this is all he's ever going to do for her. That is nice. He's going to come out guns blazing, rose petals, a fucking hot tub, best sex ever, explosions, all this bullshit, coach purse one time, and then everything else is going to be a pile of fucking shit. No.
I hate the way he like shits on Kelly. I wouldn't treat any of my exes like they were queens. She birthed you 6 children.
She says, "What did I wake up to you doing?" And she says, "Trying to take pictures of me sleeping." Okay, you fucking creep. Maybe his sister was right, or her sister was right. That's serial killer shit.
Well, I don't feel like you're wrong.
I would be so pissed off. Take a picture of me while I'm sleeping. I probably look like a monster.
Mm-hmm. That's weird. That's weird shit.
Also, the picture of her was her sucking her thumb, and I can't. Ugh. These two.
She says that their sex, not only was it pretty good, but it was the best sex she's ever had. Do you remember the best sex you've ever had?
Probably not. I mean, I think that, like,
Really?
I think that maybe some people have a lot of those moments. They're like, well, it was this, and then, but now this is the best sex I've ever had. You know what I mean? It goes on. Oh no.
That it was supposed to get better? What if you had it like at a certain point?
It was like, yeah, well, it can't possibly get better than this, and then it does with a different person.
With you, that's true. It can't possibly get better with you.
Not with you.
He said they had a good day the day before until she started drinking, and then it got a little worse. And she asks why he would say that, and he says it made her overreact. So he's mad that she's upset that he lied to her. Why would you get upset that I lied to you? It's because you were drinking.
I don't know. I don't think they know each other well enough to know that drinking would make her. I'm so confused. Like, I think after you've been with someone for a little bit on the outside, like living together, be like, yeah, you drinking makes you do this. You know? I don't. Oh my God.
He can speculate and say she wasn't reactive until after she started drinking, but that doesn't necessarily mean she isn't just a reactive person. The drinking may or may not. You've been with her one friggin' day. But he says he needs to make sure she stays out of trouble because of the bond. And she said she's not going to do anything to jeopardize her freedom, but that's exactly what she does over and over and over again. She jeopardizes her freedom. She is a flight risk, as Topo told us.
So the drinking thing, I think that like you would know how a person is and what drinking makes them do if you've known them for a while or lived with them on the outside world, or at least been around them more than like a day. Be like, drinking makes you do this. You know?
It's crazy. That's crazy work.
Yeah. You don't know. And he spent over $100,000 on her at this point.
He says over the next 17 days, he's going to have to be a lot more controlling of her and make sure that she doesn't run. Yeah.
I do. Between everything, probably. I mean, the $50,000, and on top of that, it would have been easy for him to spend an additional $50,000 on her. He's been giving her shit all along. Mm-hmm. She says, "Don't suffocate me." Bitch, you need to be suffocated because someone has to watch over you because you clearly have no self-control. Come on, man. She says you can't control me. She says that we aren't going to be squares. You need to be, because you have to stay out of jail and prison. She's acting like a rebellious teenager. Be an adult, man. You've got children. He has children. Mm-mm.
She doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
No,
you
I
both
don't
have
think so.
children. But she says that it's legal for her to drink, and I don't think that's true. Like, she's been bailed out. You are on bail. They're not going to let you drink. But right after she's trying to justify her drinking, she goes, Well, I'm going to marry him and we're going to have a family.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yep. You all while like saying, "Oh, I've been out 24 hours and Scott is already telling me what to do, what I can do, what I can't do." That's what if you're married, you don't just go, "Hey, I'm married now. I disregard everything you want me to do and I'm just going to go do my own fucking thing and whatever I want to
Right.
do, I'm going to do. I don't care if you like it or not." That's not what being married is all about. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Well, who is your VIP for this week?
Okay, I have an inanimate object. I'm gonna say it's the blue leisure suit plus the shoes.
Okay. I chose Roni for giving Jessica and Maurice a place to stay until they can get everything figured out. I thought that was pretty solid. He's got a wife and two kids, at least two kids, and he's letting them camp out there. And he says, "Hey, you can stay as long as you want." That's a lot to have somebody at your house. You know what I mean? And
It is. Yeah, it already felt like a full house.
oh, yeah. And your POS?
Both Destiny and Sean, because I couldn't decide, because those two together were just like, they're delusional and they are a mess. Agree? No. She said a lot of shit for that to just be like, "Hey, say this." It was coming out pretty easy.
Dude, I chose Lindsay's grandma for saying all that fucked up shit to Miley because what the hell, man? Like, that was not okay. And I hope that they pulled out, I hope that they edited it to make it seem that way, but nobody has ever brought it up as far as I've seen. So that's about it for this week's episode. If you enjoyed the podcast, head over to Apple or Spotify to rate and review. If you'd like to continue the conversation, join our group on Facebook at Love After Lockup, Locked Down. Listen every Wednesday wherever you find your podcasts and keep those notifications on to be the first to catch bonus episodes.
And in the meantime, don't fall in love.
And don't get locked up.
First date at Walmart, keeping it low. Told the clerk, "Don't judge me, I'm on parole." I brought roses, okay, one rose from a gas station. She said, "Oh, babe, now that's validation." We be vibing in a halfway suite. Microwave dinners, romance elite. She my ride or die, she brought me a phone. Even snuck it in once, pre-release song. She hold me down like a key-o with charm. Except she don't mace me or twist my arm. We write vows in Sharpie on my court docs. Judge said no contact, but we beat the clocks. Love after lockup, cuffed and proud. Matching jumpsuits, now we rockin' the crowd. She said, "Don't mess up," I said, "Bet." Now we're TikTok stars with no regrets. So here's the love and second chance thrill. From a concrete bed to Netflix and chill. They said don't catch feelings, but I caught a case of butterflies, girl, not just in one place. Ankle monitor beep. Oops, curfew gotta bounce.